This video is going to be your step-by-step guide for everything that you need to know so that you can start creating Instagram Reels today. Hi, my name is Desiree and I'm here to make social media easy for you. Before we go into the step-by-step guide, we're just gonna go over how to create Reels, how the interface works, how to publish, schedule, all the things. It's important to make sure that whatever you're creating with Instagram Reels is part of an effective content strategy and plan so that everything that you're creating and doing on social media is going to work really well for you. So go grab my free content planning worksheet that I have for you down in the description below. Now, real quick before we head over there, I want to make sure that you know I recorded my tutorial separately from like this introduction, so there's gonna be a whole outfit change situation. Sorry. Now, Reels is the newest thing that Instagram has as far as video features go. Live and stories have been around for quite some time, and very similar to live and stories, Instagram has taken this idea and inspiration from other platforms, in this case, very specifically, TikTok. Now, how Reels works is that you have videos that are in a vertical format that fills the whole phone that are able to be engaged and consumed by people, whether they have follow you or not. Now, unlike stories and live, which are very dependent upon an existing following, Reels is the best way for your Instagram account to be found and discovered by new people. Now, while the Instagram algorithm does encourage you to have multimedia content pieces for your existing followers, Reels is the best way to find brand new people to discover your content. Now, when we're trying to figure out what kind of vertical videos we should be making with Reels, you can really just turn to the Reels platform itself. When you're on your phone, you can just go to the Reels tab at the bottom of your phone, click on it, and just start consuming content and seeing what is it that people are creating, how are they creating it, and what audio are they using. Audio is an incredibly important part for Reels to work because it's how the trends usually form. Whether it's a song, a soundbite, or someone saying something, it sets the tone and the trend for you to follow. The more you consume Instagram Reels, the more you will see that pattern, and you'll get ideas for what kind of content you can create for yourself, which again, you can use the content planning worksheet to jot those ideas down and reference them for future use. Now, let's go to the phone where I'm going to show you how to navigate within Reels and how you can create your first Reel. Okay, so this is Instagram when you open it for the first time, and as you can see, a lot of my content that is right off the bat are gonna be Reels. Now, this is what a Reels looks like. It's this long form content and there's text on it. If you want to find that Reels tab I talked to you about, it's going to be in the bottom right hand corner with the little play button in the middle of it. That's right here. Now, these are going to be generated based on what your content is, the things that you consume are interested in. These are made just for you. And as you can see, we just have different things that are happening on them, and there are different sound bites that are happening in the background. Now, I do have my sound off on my phone right now for copyright and licensing purposes, because YouTube does not want you to have that stuff there, but there are sound bites. So let me walk you through the construction of a Reel. Now, the first thing that's important to know is that you cannot pause an Instagram Reel. You can hold your finger on it to pause it, but I am not able to then navigate you through the different settings on the phone without taking a screenshot. So what you see of me right now is a screenshot of Instagram, so I can walk you through how each one of these parts work. So at the very top, we have our casting and our thing. That's something that we need to worry about. We're gonna start from the bottom left and work our way across. The bottom left, you can see the profile picture with a circle around it. The circle around it means that they have a story that they have posted you can go watch. Next to it is the name of their account, and you either have the follow button, or if you already are following them, it'll be like a blue icon that's saying that you're following them. Okay, so if you want to follow this creator based on the content that they've made, you can hit follow. Underneath it is the message. Now, messages are really important in Instagram because it allows for you to add additional context and long form explanations of what's happening. Instagram really thrives with long messaging. You can have a really short reel with something really simple and basic happening, but the meat of what's happening, the context or the more information happens in that description or that message. I have personally found that if you want to talk to your audience more and not have to do long messages, you want to do that over on TikTok. Instagram is about short, simple, sort of visually led Instagram Reels, and the messaging is going to be long and in depth. And it actually works in your favor. From an algorithmic perspective, the more your Instagram video loops because it's short and sweet, but your message is long, that means that that person's spending more time on your content, which means that you're getting a better boost algorithmically with Instagram. Now, you can hit those text words to make it longer to view them all. You can also see the people that have liked it and all that kind of stuff. To continue over to the far right hand side of the screen, we have the heart. A heart is a simple like button. You can double tap on your screen to like it, or you can hit the heart. The heart literally acts as a like, and it's the only thing that you can do. Underneath it, we have comments. That's where we can see all the people that are engaging with that content and what it is that they're doing. So we have the comment section, which you can see is happening here, and it's what the people are commenting on, you can see that the creator has gone in and commented as well. And I love going to comment section to see what other people think of this content, find out more information, and get really great facts. Now we have this little arrow, looks like a paper airplane. This allows for you to send it to people that you are following or friends with on Instagram. You also can send it to Threads, which is a totally different app. It's sort of Meta's answer to Twitter. We have copy link if you want to take it and send it outward, like if you want to put it on Facebook or share in an email or something, you can do that. You can add this to your story where it's going to take the video and put it into your stories. You can share it, which means you can share it to like specific people or text messages and stuff, or you can download this video. If you're going to download the video, it will come watermarked, and I don't really think you need to do it unless you're trying to save it for like a tutorial or something like that. So that is how this part of it works. And then from the bottom, you can see the audio. The audio is the far right-hand corner with the little icon that's happening. This is the audio that is in here. This is where the trend happens. This is where the hacking happens. When we're looking at how audio works, again, it's the trend setter. It's usually the base of what is happening. Whether it is a montage or something someone is saying or whatever, you can go through an audio track and see what are other pieces of content that people have created sort of with this audio track and see how they're using the text on the screen to support that. You can use this audio by hitting the big blue button if you want to go create from there. You also can hit the little flag at the top, and that allows for it to save into your collections onto your Instagram. So now that we know how to navigate Instagram Reels, watch them, understand how the whole part of the reel works from a consumer's perspective, let's go create a reel for the first time, okay? So you can do this by hitting the plus sign at the bottom middle, and you can scroll over to see we have post, story, reel, and live. We're gonna scroll over to reel, and we can just straight up hit camera. Hi. And so now let's walk through how the navigation of the phone works, okay? So first things first up here is going to be the flash. Now this is what you turn on if like you're in a dark place and you need to light yourself up while you're recording. I don't because I'm in the studio, okay? We have our settings tab. Sorry, pointing is weird. We have our settings tab, which can kind of tell us like what our camera settings have going on, left side, right side, all that kind of stuff. Then we have our music icon, which is right here. So this is where we go into the music to find the music that we want to use. Now, like I said before, as a business professional, it can come into some real problems by using trademark and copyrighted music as a part of your content. So I encourage you to actually not do this, which I know sounds really lame, especially because I just told you that, you know, trends and audio lead the way, but we're trying to protect our businesses. I really encourage you to consider actually using audio from like a third-party tool that has licensing available to it. This is going to be something like Epidemic Sound or APM Music. That way you can kind of have that security that you're not going to do anything to not protect you as a business. However, if you're an individual, use those audio tracks all that you want. Next here we have effects, okay? So effects are going to allow for you to like have these different sort of like filters on yourself, and if you're trying to like do anything to make yourself look a specific way. My kids like using these because they can do silly stuff like this, right? So we have the effect on, see the sparkle, right? And we can just hit the off button by hitting that little X at the bottom that's right next to it. Next, we're gonna have our green screen. Now, green screen is an incredibly popular way to do things in Instagram and actually on TikTok and stuff in general, because what people will do is take a screenshot of something and they'll show like, look at how amazing this countryside is, and they're telling stories. You can change the background by the ones that they have, or you can use your own gallery of images. Like for me, I could use this one and be like, I live here, look at all the snow. And I could have that as part of like what I'm trying to do as well. So again, to close out of it, I have this little X down here that I can hit so that I can get rid of that green screen background. But it's a really great way for you to engage with your audience. It's a very popular hack. When you're using features in the tool like Instagram, you're gonna be able to really maximize the reach potential for your content, because when you're using features and things that are native or trending things, it's going to allow for your content to perform better on the platform. Next, we're going to have this arrow button. What the arrow button allows for you to do is like an add yours. Now, add yours are really fun things that allow for you to start a trend or piggyback off of one. So maybe you could, again, using this snow example, like this is my snow, show me yours. And you can create that content piece and people can respond to it by making their own and starting like this daisy chain of other content related to what you're doing. Next, we have our timer, okay? Now our timer is important because it allows for us to set how long we're going to record something. If you're just gonna talk, if you don't know what's gonna happen, try and set it for as long as possible. Or if you're trying to like get something done as quickly as possible, make it as short as you can. But either way, you wanna set these beforehand. Once you start recording, you cannot change it. Next, we're going to have our speed. Now the speed is helpful like if you're trying to lip sync something or do something or show something specific and you need to slow down the audio that's happening around you. Or opposite, you need to speed it up because you want it to happen faster. Next, we have these different video layouts. You can really change to really be anything that you'd like them to be. As you can see, we have these different options, like we can do this. We have this option to do like this thirds thing. And so what you do is you kind of like take a picture, rah, and then it goes to the next one, ah, and then you can have this bottom one, and that could be just smiling. All right, and so you have these 3 like videos that you can have for different layouts just to have different fun things that are happening. It's sort of like a montaged piece of content, okay? Next, we have our timer here. Our timer is the little clock here. Timers are allowed for you to set timers so you can know when to start something. That way you can like set the phone up and scooch back if you need to, that sort of thing. So that's helpful as well. We have the little arrow. Now when we pull our arrow down, we have dual. What dual allows for us to do is see what's happening here and what's happening on the other side of my camera, right? So we have my studio here, we have the lights and stuff, and then we have me. This is like my studio where I'm recording, that's my desk and stuff. So you can take a picture here or record something and you can be showing something at the same time. Like maybe you're explaining something or whatever it is. And you can switch them like this, see? And it works as well, okay? So close that out. Now, when we're continuing to go down with what's happening down here, those are filters that you can have in place to do any sort of like fluctuations to what's happening. Or you can change like the words on the screen. You can have like flowers and stuff, filters that happen. So you can just make things look a specific way, or they have like little really fun ones. Or you can have someone here like, what Pokemon are you? Like this is the thing I had downloaded for my kids, right? So you can have different effects and things like that that are on here. Okay, all right, so now let's record something. So I'm gonna hit the speed, and not the speed, the length, and I'm gonna just hit that and I'm just gonna record something. Just testing out how to record something for a tutorial. Now I held down this button here and I recorded my clip. Now what you can do, you can keep holding it down to record it for as long as you want, or you can change it up and do different things. This is another angle, and hey look, another angle. And then you can have the clip however you want it to be. Now, when you're ready with whatever you've said and it's done the way that you want, you're gonna wanna hit next. Now, next is gonna show you what your clips look like so that you can do things. Now, as you can see, I have more things on the screen. So in the upper corner here, I have audio. If I want to explore adding audio, I can add it. I can add text to my screen. Right? They're experimenting with some new fonts, it looks like here from when I recorded this. Now to edit when that text is going to show up on this screen, I'm gonna go down to the very bottom left where you see the little test in the gray box and hit tap it, and then I can shorten when that test is gonna be on this screen. That way I am allowed to have multiple text at different point. When I'm done, I'm still editing, I just hit that arrow in the upper left-hand corner. So that's how we add text to our screen and add it to specific times. We have our back up to the top, on our middle icon, we have like a little smiley face. This is where we can add very standard Instagram graphics. These are called stickers, where you can add different emotions and moods and things like that onto here to do things. These can be GIFs, these can be anything that you want that's available within that tab. Again, we have more aesthetics and filters if we want to add those in, which I do not. As far as the upper right hand corner, it's a down arrow. You can download your video before you publish it. So if you want to put it in other places and things like that, that is the option for you. Now, if you go to edit video in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see all of the content that you have that has been put into here. You can see at the bottom we have edit, add audio, add text, all that kind of stuff. If you need to make those adjustments, you can, but since you're just getting started, you can't keep this really simple. Now, let's say though, for some reason you want to add another clip, you have this little play button with the plus sign. You can go in here, add more. Look, I'm adding more content, and then it can add that clip on to the end. Now that I'm happy with how this all looks and how this all functions, I'm gonna hit the next button. Now the next button takes me to the screen where I put my message in. If you're doing your content planning the way that I'm hoping you are, you can have that message written somewhere else online that you, or on like your Google spreadsheet or an email that you sent to yourself, and you can paste it into here and it can do what you want there. Adding hashtags that you want or whatever that is. We can then go into tagging people, building our audience, tagging products. Very similar to how you post other content on Instagram. Now, the other thing that's important to note though, before we publish this, we have something we want to do is we want to change our cover. As you can see on the screen, we have the picture of me and I'm like, my eyes are closed and stuff. I would probably want to edit where that looks, if anything, just like for my, so it can look better on my cover for what shows up on the Instagram feed. Now when someone's just kind of scrolling and they see it on my feed, they know that's who I am. It's a much more presentable version of myself to show up as maybe I'm trying to like create an aesthetic. Additionally, with edit cover, I can upload a photo from my camera. So like, let's say you've created something in Adobe Express as a cover size and you want it to be the cover, or you have a specific photo of yourself from that moment that you want to put there instead, you can upload it from your phone there as well. Now, if you go to advanced settings, there's an option for you to schedule your content at the very top if that's what you want. So just hit schedule reel, and then it's going to provide you with the calendar if that's something that you'd like to do. Or if you're just ready to go, you can just hit share and publish it, which is what I'm going to do. As you can see at the bottom, we have it sharing my reel, and I can go see that pop up over on my feed when it is ready. See, there it is. So creating reels can be really simple or really complicated. I encourage you as you're getting started with Instagram to create something very simple that you can do very easy, because if you get into the editing and all the extra stuff, it can be very cumbersome, and I don't want to discourage you from continuing to create that way, but this is gonna make it easy for you. Now that you're all set with Instagram Reels, what about going live on Instagram? I want you to watch this video that I have for you right here, where I'm gonna walk you through step by step everything you need to do to go live on Instagram.